Have you ever found yourself eating food when you're not even hungry? Whether you're happy, sad, angry, depressed, or even bored, you end up eating food. And this is right, I get it. This is what we call emotional eating, right? One minute you're having a snack, next minute you're ordering Domino's pizza. And then you ask yourself, why did I do that? Does that sound like you? If so, you're not alone. Emotional eating is one of the biggest barriers between your healthy relationship with food and your weight loss goals. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to break free from your emotional eating. This is backed with science and studies that not only helps me, but helped hundreds of my clients. If you're new here, my name is Kwesi Fure, and I've helped hundreds of people burn fat and maintain muscle in a short period of time through my coaching. So if you're ready to make real change, click the subscribe button because I have a lot more information coming your way. How to overcome emotional eating. I know this topic is sensitive. I know this is really hard for you. The reason why I know this is because I literally sent out an email list to all my subscribers, all my followers, where the question was, what is the most common thing that you struggle with on your weight loss journey? Just tell me the one thing that you struggle with the most on your weight loss journey. I reply back to this email and tell me. Everybody says, yeah, lack of motivation, consistency. But the one thing that was so common, I was actually surprised with, bro, I keep binge eating. Like, whether you're a man or woman, the main problem that you guys focus on is your relationship with your food. So this is why I made this topic, and let's get straight into this. I can't lie, the pictures I added over here are so funny. Like this guy is having some. Why is bro having mac and cheese, yeah, and ice cream at the same time? I don't know why I added that video, I added that picture, but it's funny. It's funny, but it's relatable. How many times, yeah, have you said the cool, I'm gonna eat healthy, blah blah blah, and then you go to Tesco's in the UK, if you're in America, you go to Walmart or 7-Eleven, and you're just like, let me get my food. Then you go back there, got the snacks, then you got ice cream, then you got chocolate, then you got pizza, then you're now emotionally eating because something crazy happened today. I understand it. So let's get into emotional eating and understanding why we do it, right? Cool. So basically, emotional eating happens when you turn food into comfort, stress relief, or reward, rather than actual physical nourishment. So while it might provide temporary relief, it often leads to feeling of guilt, frustration, and a loss of control. But here's the truth. Let's keep it 100. Like I always say, let's keep it 100. Emotional eating isn't just about food. It's a response to deeper psychological triggers such as stress, boredom, loneliness, sadness, celebration, right? So when we talk about stress, they use food to cope with the overwhelming emotions. When it comes to boredom, eating just to fill a void or just eating to just pass time. How many times we just like, oh, why am I eating this food? I'm just bored, man. I'm just eating this food because I'm bored. That's still emotional eating. The same as loneliness and sadness. Why eating this food? You're turning the food into a comfort or into distraction, right? Like say so you just got broken up. Now you're eating ice cream in the movies. You know, every single movie, once the girl gets broken up, you see the girl with a big tub of ice cream. She's eating her feelings away. That's emotional eating, right? Or a celebration, right? Associating food with a reward or happiness. So that cool, yeah, I passed my driving test today. Cool. You know what? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, bro? Are you gonna eat better food? Like what? Or the worst thing, yeah, is when you do your diet plan, you did so well, respect, you lost all this weight, and how do you celebrate? By eating food. How are you gonna celebrate your progress by destroying it? It doesn't make any sense. So if you have ever found yourself eating when you wasn't hungry, it's not because of the lack of willpower. It's because your brain has learned to associate food with a relief from emotional discomfort. Simple as that, man. Everything leads to psychology. And I was like, hey, praise God, I'm finally using my psychology degree because this is good to understand. Okay, let's go to the psychology of craving and binge eating. Okay, mama, it's time to use my psychology degree. About time that whole 3 years, 4 years wasn't a waste. Okay, let's talk about the psychology of craving and binge eating. So, cravings and binge eating are often driven by a cycle of emotional triggers and habits, right? One, two, three. Trigger, action. As for the trigger, the stress, sadness, boredom, which creates emotional discomfort. And as for the action, you eat as a way to numb or distract yourself. And as for the reward, the food temporarily soothes the discomfort, reinforcing the behavior. This creates a feedback loop inside your brain, making emotional eating a repeated habit. To break the cycle, you need to rewire your response to triggers. And let's talk about the actual strategies to overcome emotional binge eating. Strategies to overcome emotional eating. Number one, every single thing we learn in psychology, it always leads to practice mindfulness, right? So number one is to practice mindfulness. When you feel the urge to eat, pause and ask yourself, am I actually hungry or am I just eating because I feel a type of way? Pay attention to the physical hunger cues, such as your stomach growling or low energy, versus your emotional triggers, such as stress or boredom. Mindful eating also helps you slow down and actually enjoy the food you are eating, making it easier to stop and eat when you're actually full. Okay, but number two is to always keep a journal. Bro, I have a journal on me 24/7. This journal is not even about weight loss. This is about what goes alongside my head and like goals, affirmations, manifestation, talking about life. Just always have a journal with you. Whatever you do in life, journal is good. And I'm old school, right? I write the journal, but you can use a laptop if you want. But use a journal to track your emotions, the triggers, and your eating habits, right? Identify the times, situations, and the feelings that lead to emotional eating. Journaling creates an awareness and it helps you spot the patterns that you can work with in order to change these habits, right? But when it comes to changing these habits, you got to move into number three, which is the replacement of habits. Instead of eating, find alternative ways to cope with emotional triggers, such as stress, boredom, sadness, loneliness. When it comes to stress, I suggest you take a 10-minute walk, practice deep breathing, or listen to some calming music. Calm, chill, relax, meditate, enjoy. Right? Hang out with the girlies. Cool. Boredom. If you ever get bored and you end up eating, just remember, try and engage in some activity like reading, drawing, or organizing a space, right? Just keep yourself productive. But when it comes to sadness or loneliness, hit up a friend, check on a friend, let them check up on you. You know what I mean? Call a friend or write down your feelings in a journal. Because over time, these replacement habits will become your new default responses. Cool? But number four is to set boundaries around your trigger foods. Do not, and I repeat, do not keep highly tempted foods in your environment. If you see it, you're gonna eat it. Like my mum, yeah. My mum had this problem with food. Anytime she sees food, she has to eat it. Right. So Doubly, she's better now. She's much better now because I taught her about like strategies you can use, right? But she used to. Her problem was she won't even buy the food. You see the food, chocolate, she eats it. Doesn't matter who the chocolate in the house belongs to. She's gonna eat it. And once you confront her, and be like, "Why'd you eat my chocolate?" She'd be like, "Because I saw it there." Like sometimes you look at it like she has no discipline, she has no self control, but no, it's because it's a habit for her. She has to rewire her subconscious mind to understand why she does this, why she emotionally eats, right? Because simply, if she didn't see it, she wouldn't have ate it. So it's not a willpower control type of thing, you know what I mean? So number four, set boundaries around food. So do not keep highly tempted food around your environment. If you do not have them in your hands, it's harder for you to actually give into the cravings. So what you can do is plan your meals in advance so you're less likely to turn into food out impulse. Number five, focus on nutrition. I repeat, focus on nutrition. Yeah, sorry, my microphone's over here. Focus on nutrition, okay, and a balanced diet. Nothing in life is balanced, but we get into what balanced diet means for us. Emotional eating often stems from restricted diets that leave you feeling deprived. By eating balance, when I say balance, I talk about nutrients dense. I don't talk about the processed balanced diet that people have, like have your beef and then have your fried food, fried chicken, and then have your chips, and then have your ice cream, and then have your donuts. That is not balance. That's poison, bro. That will destroy your body. That is not balance. When I talk about balance, I talk about nutrients dense. It's not talking about calorie dense, where a food has a lot of calories. I'm talking about nutrients dense, where a piece of food or ingredient is full of nutrients that actually helps you stay full. So by eating balanced nutrition dense meals, you'll reduce physical hunger and cravings, making it easier to say no to the food triggers, right? Because you can binge eat, cool, but if you had all this healthy food in your system, you'll literally be too full to even pick up the chocolate bar. You'll be too full. You ate all this healthy food. Your body doesn't need it anymore. You're not craving for it, right? That's why you focus on nutrients dense rather than eating empty calories. Number six, build emotional awareness. Learn to sit with your uncomfortable emotions instead of avoiding them. All right. Ask yourself, what am I truly feeling right now? And name the emotions. Is it stress? Is it sadness? Am I happy? Or am I mad? This will help you address it directly instead of masking it with food. So rather than just going straight to food when you feel a type of way, sit down and think, why do I feel this way? And even though I feel this way, why do I need to eat food to make me feel better? Well, I can address it in a different type of manner, right? If I got beef with my boyfriend, if I got beef with my girlfriend, why don't I just sit down and talk to them? Why do I have to eat food and do it in silence? Doesn't make any sense. And obviously, number seven, seek professional help. Well, you got me, and I'm a pro. So any help you need, just either talk to someone that you think has enough advice that you can learn from, speak to me. You got my phone number, or just book a clarity call. You can literally talk to me whenever you want, and I'll give you all the advice you need. Plus, I got a psychology degree, so I got a flex. That's not the benefit of psychology degrees, man. You just talk about mental health and physical health, and yeah, that's basically it. But anyways, so number 7, seek professional support. Emotional eating can be deeply rooted in unresolved emotional or psychological issues, right? So working with a coach like myself, or even a therapist, psychologist, I'm kind of like that, can provide personalized strategies to overcome these challenges. But on to the key takeaways of this entire video. 1, emotional eating is a learned response to emotional triggers. It is not your lack of willpower, right? So if you end up binge eating or being emotionally connected to a food, it's not because you lack willpower, it's because you haven't learned to properly respond to these emotional triggers. Simple as that. We literally list out the amount of strategies that can help you, so just follow that. Number 2, by becoming mindful of your triggers, by tracking your patterns, replacing habits, you actually regain control of your eating. And number 3, small, consistent actions like journaling and building emotional awareness can actually break this cycle and help you form a healthier coping mechanism. And you know what I'm going to talk about? Take the first step. Take the first step. If you're ready to regain control over your eating habits and actually address the deeper triggers behind the emotional eating, then let's work together. Book a clarity call with me today. I will literally help you create a personalized plan to overcome your emotional eating, regain confidence, and build a healthier habits for life. So click the link below, book your call, and take the first step towards freedom from your emotional eating.